Good evening and welcome to MTV's news update for today, August 26, 2021. I'm Sandy Ramutar. First, our top headlines. COVID-19 immunization campaign for children begins. Bids open for Eccles Great Diamond 4-lane highway. 52,000 farmers to benefit from government's flood relief program. And in sport, Hetimaya 54 All-Star Bowling Show give Amazon Warriors a winning start. Now for the news in details. The Health Ministry today commenced the distribution of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine to children at the St. Stanislaus College. Rihanna Griffith reports.
The administration of the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine began today at the St. Stanislaus College. The vaccine will be administered to children between the ages of 12 to 17. Dana Shipgobin and Raman Cummins from the St. Stanislaus College were the first to receive the vaccine. Minister of Education Priya Manachan urged parents to get their children vaccinated to allow for the safe reopening of schools.
Vaccination and inoculation is the only way to get past this virus. We're no longer talking, my friends, about getting past the virus to come into schools. We're talking about getting past the virus so that you can live. That is where we're at now. We're not talking about mundane things like whether we can educate you and whether we can give you the opportunity to thrive in the beautiful new Guyana that is about to come here. We're talking about whether you and your children could continue to live.
School is expected to be reopened on September 6, 2021 for face-to-face learning at all levels. This is approximately after 2 years of virtual learning. However, virtual learning will still be an option for parents who are skeptical about the returning of their child to school. Guyana has acquired some 146,250 doses of the Pfizer vaccines to date. The Ministry of Education began rolling out consent forms to parents across Guyana mid this month to determine whether or not they will allow their child to take the vaccine. To date, they have received some 4,000 consent forms from parents. The Pfizer vaccine is the first to be fully approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, the first jab to be licensed in the U.S. for persons 16 years and older. This vaccine has an efficacy rate of 95%. The vaccine would be available at various schools and several health centers across the country. Reporter for MTV's News Update, Rihanna Griffith.
Almost 60% of adults have received the first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine as the Ministry of Health's vaccination campaign continues across the country. More from Shania Pereira.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said there has been an increase in the number of persons coming out to take their first dose of the vaccine. Some 306,906 adults received their first dose of the vaccine, which amounts to 59.8%, while 158,557 persons are fully vaccinated. This represents 30.9% of the adult population.
We are still far away from herd immunity. We still have to work together to make sure that we increase these numbers, community by community, region by region, to make sure that we are protecting ourselves.
He noted that there has also been an increase in the positive cases and urged the public to observe the precautionary measures to reduce the risk of transmission. There are currently 1,692 positive coronavirus cases across the country.
So it is a serious thing, and I really hope that we can get people to adhere more strictly to the measures and to protect themselves and family by getting vaccinated.
99 patients are currently hospitalized with the coronavirus. Most of the cases are hospitalized at the Diseases Infectious Hospital. 23 of these cases are in the COVID-19 intensive care unit. The Health Ministry is closely monitoring the patients. Reporting for MTV News Update, Shania Pereira.
The distribution of the government's flood relief grant, which began last week, is expected to benefit some 52,000 farmers countrywide. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said that the flood relief packages are aimed at assisting farmers to restart cultivation as soon as possible. The distribution began last Sunday in the East Berbice Quarantine Region 6 and will continue in other regions during the course of this week. Minister Mustafa explained that persons selected for the grants were assessed by various agencies which fall under the purview of the Ministry of Agriculture on a case-by-case basis. The flood relief grants fall under various categories such as household, livestock and the rice sector. Minister Mustafa said the government has also allocated monies for other materials including 60,000 bags of seed paddy, planting materials and other genetic supplies to further assist farmers in getting back to their lands. The minister said the government is catering to the needs of all citizens. As such, persons living in interior communities who do not have access to banks will receive their grants in cash rather than checks. He said the Auditor General's Office and other agencies will be scrutinizing the process to ensure its transparency. You're watching MTV's News Update. More news on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
With Dad, everything is possible. One time, while everything was still spinning, he gave Teddy a bath. He even has his own supermarket at home, so we never run out of fresh snacks. And on my birthday, Dad made the room cold, but the wind didn't blow my candles, so my wishes can come true.
Imagine the possibilities.
Available at ACH Inc., the authorized Samsung distributor for Guyana.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority is kindly asking residents living in communities under the management of the department to desist from storing construction materials on roadways and road shoulders. Residents are also being asked not to block roadways or drains with construction materials. According to clauses 12 and 13 of the amended agreement of sale of restrictive covenants attached to titles issued from 2012, no storage of materials comprising earth, sand, stone, blocks, cements, timber and steel or mixing of concrete shall be permitted on the road or the road shoulders. Any materials on the road or the road shoulders must be cleared within 24 hours of being placed thereon. Residents are reminded that failure to adhere to clauses 12 and 13 will result in a penalty of $10,000 being charged per day of default. A message from the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
Modern Optical Service has made it even better by introducing its budgeted spectacle line, starting as low as $10,000 for single vision lens and $12,000 for bifocal lens, available in tinted or clear, complete spectacles at affordable prices. So hurry down to our main office at 316 Middle Street or Lot 14 Diamond Public Road opposite Demerara Bank. Enjoy over 60 years of eye care experience at affordable prices. Modern Optical Service, your eye care professionals.
Are you building or renovating your home? Then come to Beeson for a wide range of aluminum and UPVC windows and doors. Get from single hung sash, awning, casement, sliding windows, plus sliding and swinging doors. All our products can be customized and fitted with insect screens and are sealed tight to withstand harsh weather conditions. At Beeson, we also carry commercial, glass and French doors, showcases, aluminum louvers, curtain walls, aluminum rails, plus sliding and frameless shower doors. So look no further. Visit our showroom today at Lot 1228 Eccles Industrial Site or call 622-4197 or 623-4197. Beeson Windows and Doors, built with pride in Guyana by Guyanese.
Are you running around looking for construction materials? Well, run down to Lens for affordable, high-quality building supplies. We have the widest range of grade A floor and wall tiles in any shape, size, and designs. And all types of ceramics, porcelain glazed, and full-body porcelain. We stock the largest collection of large format tiles. Check out our porcelain slabs as big as 10 feet by 4.5 feet. Add a bit of elegance with our large range of decorative molding. Our line of PPG paints will give you vibrant colors that won't fade. With our wall and ceiling gypsum system, it's light, durable, and fast. So come down to Lens at 136 Sheriff Street, which is next to Buddy's and Pizza Hut, for that 31 years of Lens quality.
This is MTV's News Update. Welcome back. The government has drafted a bail bill and a restorative justice bill to address the issue of overcrowding in prisons across Guyana. Here is Luan Williams.
Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General Anil Nandlal, Senior Counsel, said a draft of the Bail Act has been completed and is before the Chief Parliamentary Council. The Ministry of Legal Affairs said a major factor contributing to prison overcrowding in Guyana is the flawed nature of Guyana's bail system, as almost 40% of Guyanese inmates are pre-trial detainees. This Bail Act will ensure greater consistency in the granting of bail and will provide specific guidelines for magistrate and judges when granting bail to offenders.
Maybe next week, because I just received it, and hopefully as soon as Parliament resumes, we will pass that in the Parliament, provided, of course, it receives the endorsement of important stakeholders like the judiciary and the Bar Association. This bail bill will hopefully address a lot of the issues that we see causing great concern.
Project manager of the program, Indira Ananjit, said a restorative bill has been drafted by the Attorney General's chambers and is poised to adopt and implement a restorative justice program in Guyana. She noted that under the program, they have been able to train 130 persons in restorative justice, of which 32 shows have also been given restorative justice training, and 12 persons have been trained as certified practitioners of restorative justice. Restorative justice is a theory of justice that focuses on repairing the harm caused by criminal behavior by bringing the victim, offender, and their communities together to determine how the victim can heal and address the cause of the offender's behavior. Nandlal explained that the program will be unfolding very soon.
In fact, we have started already, and we are training community leaders across Guyana in restorative justice. How do you get the offender and the complainant to sit together once they agree, to sort out their differences, go into the life, into the psychology, into the sociology, into the environment, into the upbringing of the offender to understand why he is offending in the manner in which he is, and address the root problem so that you don't have the manifestation of it again.
Country representative for the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, Sophie McConnell, said that the project made significant progress over the past few months. The Support for the Criminal Justice System, SCGS program, is a US $8 million project and is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, which is being implemented by the Government of Guyana through the Ministry of Legal Affairs. This program is targeting the over-reliance on custodial sentences and the overuse of pre-trial detention in the criminal justice system. Luan Williams from TV's News Update.
Several medical personnel attached to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation were this morning denied entry into the hospital after they failed to produce proof of their COVID vaccination card or a negative PCR test. Here are the details.
Employees who do not have their COVID-19 vaccination cards or a negative PCR test were today denied entry to the Georgetown Public Hospital. This resulted in protests outside the Georgetown Public Hospital building by the staff who were denied entry into the compound.
To me, honestly, I'm not taking the vaccine, but I'm not against anybody who wants to take the vaccine, right? But what I'm saying, do not force it upon us.
Have to pay $20,000 anyway, any private place, and that is beyond the budget because that doesn't make any sense with the pay you're getting for a month. And I don't want to take it because of I have allergic reaction to medications and I cannot use it. If I take the COVID vaccine and something wrong with me, they're not responsible for it.
I'm not comfortable with the vaccine because they haven't given us much details about it. You're hearing everything. The minister is not coming out plainly and say, this is it. It has this inside, whatever the composition of the vaccine, nothing. Maybe if they done that and tell us the truth, we will more comply.
That's not acceptable. Treat us like people and we will do what you ask us, but don't demand.
The Ministry of Health, in their updated COVID-19 official gazette for August 2021, outlined that all healthcare workers must be vaccinated before they can enter their place of employment. The new guidelines also mandate that conductors and operators of public transportation be vaccinated with a COVID-19 vaccine before they can provide service to the public. These workers were given 2 weeks from August 11th to comply with the order, or they will have to produce a negative COVID-19 PCR test on a weekly basis. The government also said persons who are unvaccinated have to make appointments to gain entry or access services from the various ministries. Luan Williams for MTV's News Update.
Government will soon begin the construction of 3 8-door outfall canals to mitigate flooding in regions 3, 5 and 6. This was announced by Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa. He told the Department of Public Information during an interview that the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority has been tasked with the responsibility of looking for suitable locations. Minister Mustafa said while the country faced unprecedented rainfall over the last few months, Georgetown and the east coast of Demerara were not as severely affected as other parts of the country. When the canals are completed, Minister Mustafa said the lands will be drained efficiently, preserving the agriculture sector. These projects represent the government's long-term solution to flooding in the country. In the meantime, the administration has commenced the distribution of flood relief grants to affected farmers. The CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security today signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the International Organization for Migration to manage migration and counter trafficking in persons. More in this report.
The Memorandum of Understanding aims to strengthen cooperation in the regions of mutual interest funded by the U.S. Department of State Population. This includes areas such as management of migration for development, development of migration standards and policies in the region aimed at protection at sea, processing regular migrants, counter-trafficking in human beings, as well as contingency planning and emergency responses in the event of large-scale forced displacements. Executive Director of CARICOM Impacts Michael Jones said the formalization of the two agencies' relations is a significant step to deepen their ties as they move to address issues of border management and counter-trafficking of human beings. The two parties will also work to implement activities to support migration management, which includes an analysis of capacities and needs to assess health issues at points of entry in the Caribbean, a legislative gap analysis, and a roadmap for policy change on the counter-smuggling of migrants. The collaboration will benefit CARICOM member states by enhancing capacity-building initiatives in migration, harmonizing policies and procedures, and accessing global tools to address irregular migration in the region. Meanwhile, Clint Salmon, IOM Regional Director for Central America, North America, and the Caribbean, emphasized that working with CARICOM in the region is critical to facilitate the effective management of migration and transnational organized crimes at all levels. Reporting for MTV News Update, Shania Pereira.
More news coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
You can be a millionaire by only spending $100 on a Daily Million ticket. Simply pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 26, or you can buy a quick pick for your chance to win the Daily Millions. Purchase your tickets daily, Monday through Saturday, to get a chance to win $1 million every day. So, feeling lucky? Then buy a Daily Millions ticket today. Remember, a ticket today could make you rich today.
From the arms of nature emerges a unique blend of oils. Introducing the Schilling Inhaler. Refreshing, stimulating, cooling. The fastest, most natural way to ease congestion. Breathe easier. The Schilling Inhaler, from the makers of Schilling Oil, distributed by Massey Distribution.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
is now using Softex toilet tissue, available in leading supermarkets countrywide. Softex is always silky smooth because it's made from virgin pulp and babies love it. Softex comes available in single rolls, economy pack, 6-pack, and 1 dozen packages. Just perfect for any budget. Manufactured and distributed by BPAT's Paper Manufacturing, Eccles Industrial Site. For more information, telephone 622-4197.
You're tuned to MTV's News Update. The Ministry of Housing, Central Housing and Planning Authority through the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board has invited interested companies to bid for the construction of the Eccles the Great Diamond 4-lane highway. Here's Social Giles.
In an effort to link Ogle East Coast Demerara to Diamond East Bank Demerara through a bypass road, the government has opened the bidding process for a continuation of construction of roadways from Eccles to Diamond East Bank Demerara. The project is broken down into 12 lots, each of which will be procured separately. The Housing Ministry will host 6 pre-bid meetings through the month of September and early October. 3 of these meetings will be site visits to determine access, logistics, and traffic management, etc., while the remainder will be briefings on evaluation criteria, environment and social management required, and other information pertinent to the filling of bid documents. The 4-lane highway is expected to ease traffic congestion, open lands for housing, business, and other infrastructural development. In April, the government signed contracts with 6 companies to begin the 4-lane highway from Mandela Avenue, Georgetown to Eccles East Bank Demerara. This project is valued at $2.6 billion and is scheduled to be completed on December 10th. Reporting for MTV News Update, Social Giles.
More than 150 persons in Linden Region 10 are now employed as government commenced the construction of 20 elevated homes in Amelia's ward. Importantly, all the materials for the construction of the homes are being sourced from businesses within the mining town. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell and Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Utah visited the town yesterday to assess the ongoing works. The housing program is a fulfillment of a commitment made by President Dr. Irfaan Ali during an outreach in the town in January. During that outreach, the head of state committed to the construction of 1,000 homes in Linden. He assured residents that employment and materials would come from the town. Minister Crowell said what is being witnessed is a testament that the PPPC government has kept its word. It is also in keeping with the government's commitment to create 50,000 jobs. Minister Crowell emphasized that the government will be investing heavily in providing necessary infrastructure for the over 400 house lots that were recently distributed in Linden. More areas in Region 10 will be developed for the government's housing program. A joint visit with a team from the National Industrial and Commercial Investments Limited will be undertaken to identify such lands. The government in its manifesto made a commitment to provide affordable housing for all and to create 50,000 jobs for Guyanese. In just under 1 year in office, the PPPC administration is already fulfilling its commitment and ensuring the needs of Guyanese are met. The Ministry of Natural Resources, through the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, has granted a 2-week extension to companies interested in the establishment of natural gas facilities at Wales West Bank Demerara. More in this report.
The government, in partnership with ExxonMobil, is currently procuring entities interested in taking part in the development of the gas processing plant, power plant, and natural gas liquids facility. The beginning of the procurement process started in July last and was expected to be completed by August 29. However, the deadline has been extended to September 14th. The Wales Development Zone, which measures over 1,300 acres, is expected to function as a termination point for the gas pipelines leading from the Liza area in the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana. The site has been marked for the location of 3 major gas-to-energy developments. The gas processing plant and natural gas liquid facility is expected to produce 4,000 barrels of oil per day, including the fractionation of liquefied petroleum gas, while the design, construction, and financing of a power plant fueled by natural gas, which will be used to supply energy to the Guyana Power and Light, will be the second development. The final development is expected to be industries that can utilize gas, steam, and/or electricity. Earlier this month, the government issued a gazetted order to acquire land for the beginning of this project in the gas-to-shore phase, which noted that gas pipelines will run from Neuville Flanders on the west coast of Demerara to Canal No. 1 on the west bank of Demerara. The gas-to-energy project stands as an effort of the government to lower the cost of electricity by at least 50%. Reporting for MTV News Update, Social Giles.
We now take a look at tips for healthy living, brought to you with the kind compliments of Natura's high and low milk powder, distributed by Davies Variety.
What does Natura High and Low Milk Powder have? It is fortified with the extra good nights of vitamins A, C, D, E, and K. It is high in calcium, protein, and enriched with folic acid, all of which help to strengthen your immune system. What it doesn't have is fat and cholesterol. Natura High and Low. Healthy can taste good. Available at all leading supermarkets and groceries nationwide. Natura High and Low Milk Powder is not for infants 1 year and under.
Blood poisoning is a serious infection. It occurs when bacteria are in the bloodstream. Despite its name, the infection has nothing to do with poison. Although not a medical term, blood poisoning is used to describe bacteremia, septicemia, or sepsis. Still, the name sounds dangerous and for good reason. Sepsis is a serious, potentially fatal infection, and blood poisoning can progress to sepsis rapidly. Causes: blood poisoning occurs when bacteria causing infection in another part of your body enters your bloodstream. The presence of bacteria in the blood is referred to as bacteremia or septicemia. The terms septicemia and sepsis are often used interchangeably, though technically they are not quite the same. Septicemia, the state of having bacteria in your blood, can lead to sepsis. Sepsis is a severe and often life-threatening state of infection if it is left untreated. However, any type of infection, whether bacterial, fungal, or viral, can cause sepsis, and these infectious agents do not necessarily need to be in a person's bloodstream to bring about sepsis. Some common causes of infections that can cause sepsis include abdominal infection, an infected insect bite, central line infections such as from a dialysis or chemotherapy catheter, dental extractions or infected teeth, exposure of a covered wound to bacteria during surgical recovery or not changing a surgical bandage frequently enough, exposure of any open wound to the environment, infection by drug-resistant bacteria, a kidney or urinary tract infection, pneumonia, and skin infection. Symptoms: the symptoms of blood poisoning include chills, moderate or high fever, weakness, rapid breathing, increased heart rate or palpitations, paleness of the skin, especially in the face, red spots on the skin, purple bruises, shock, little to no urine production, organ failure. Blood poisoning can lead to respiratory distress syndrome and septic shock. If the condition is not treated right away, these complications can lead to death. Prevention: the best way to prevent blood poisoning is to treat and prevent infections. It is also important to prevent any open wounds from becoming infected in the first place with proper cleaning and bandaging. If you've had surgery, your doctor will likely prescribe an antibiotic as a precautionary measure against infections. Call your doctor if you suspect you have an infection and avoid places where you are likely to encounter bacteria, viruses, or fungi if you are prone to infection.
What does Natura High and Low Milk Powder have? It is fortified with the extra good nights of vitamins A, C, D, E, and K. It is high in calcium, protein, and enriched with folic acid, all of which help to strengthen your immune system. What it doesn't have is fat and cholesterol. Natura High and Low. Healthy can taste good. Available at all leading supermarkets and groceries nationwide. Natura High and Low Milk Powder is not for infants 1 year and under.
The ISG and MTV's Sport Update is next. Stay tuned.
Strap in. You know that it is a fact. The deal on wheels is back. For family, deal on wheels. For security, that's a fact. For fun, deal on wheels.
Republic Bank Deal on Wheels is back. With same-day approval, reduced equity, longer repayment terms, and more. Plus, 3 lucky winners would win $100,000 each. Get the ride for you at Republic Bank.
Fibertech materials are used in a multitude of ways, from repairing and fabrication of auto body, fishing, and household items. We have available various fiberglass mattings, resin, mold releases, brushes, and rollers for all of your repair needs. We offer technical advice and free training to ensure you get the job done. For further information, call us at 220-6907 or 220-9192.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.
The Guyana Amazon Warriors emerged victorious over the Trinbago Knight Riders earlier today as this year's Hero Caribbean Premier League kicked off. The Trinbago Knight Riders won the toss and elected to field first. Guyana Amazon Warriors closed their inning with 142 runs off 20 overs. The Knight Riders fought hard but eventually lost the match by 9 runs. Guyanese Shimron Hetmeyer was instrumental in today's win since he made 54 runs, which includes 2 sixes and 4 fours. Also, Guyana's Romario Shepherd took 3 wickets, bringing the team to victory. Player of the match was Jamaican Odean Smith, who took 24 runs and 2 wickets. The Warriors take their early lead with 2 points on the table and will return to Warner Park on Saturday to face off against the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. The Knight Riders are up again tomorrow evening against the Barbados Royals. We now turn to squash. The local squash fraternity is currently developing numerous plans for the development of the sport, but most of the works are still in planning stages due to the ongoing pandemic. This is according to Owen Verwey, president of the Guyana Squash Association.
We're just observing it on an individual basis and making our decisions too on that individual basis. What is first and foremost best for the players and everyone's families and close ones? And secondly, what is best for the sport? As much as we would like to play, if a situation arises and we think it is not safe and it's not a good idea for them to compete or to travel for something, I think we will make that decision with safety being the highest priority.
Many local squash players have still not been able to return to training. Only the 18 to 21 men have received permission to train for their Junior Pan American Championships, which is set for the latter part of November this year. Even though the men have only returned to the court a few weeks ago, Verwey noted that they have displayed a rapid return to form. The Squash Association have also been confined to one facility. Renovations on the other facilities are currently delayed as a result of the ongoing pandemic.
It is the Georgetown Club. This has been the bedrock of squash for a very long time. There are a few other courts that are around the place. Some of them are not in serviceable condition, so you can't use them. I think Everest is one of those that is going to come into being. And I think there are others, but at this moment, I'm not sure what conditions they are in, what condition they're all in. COVID has been one challenge last year and 4 months, so no one would have probably used some of those courts. Prior to that, some were in partial use and some were being considered for use.
They have squash courts in Linden, Berbice, and other places around Georgetown, but have not been able to get them up to standard as yet. Verwey also added that they are hoping for an announcement of Caribbean Area Squash Association CASA Championships later this year, since it has already been cancelled for 2 consecutive years. In rugby news, the Guyana Rugby Football Union GRFU acquired the Camptown ground for use in May of this year since their home at the National Park was in dire need of renovation. However, rugby players are set to compete in national competitions later this year, and the Camptown facility has still not been fully renovated. This is according to Ryan Day, president of the GRFU.
Right now, we're looking at the weather with the Camptown ground. It needs another weeding and then a chipping and a rolling, and then we'll be okay to use that ground. But we're because of the weather, that has been stalled up.
It has been 4 years since the rugby field at the National Park, where the GRFU had called their home for years, was forced to close for rehabilitative work. This was due to a number of issues, including an uneven ground space and a littered environment.
We're in talks with the National Parks Commission, and right now it's a no-go because of the weather, and that ground needs a lot more work than we thought at first.
A proposal has been submitted by the GRFU for the local male and female rugby players to return to training at the Leonora Track and Field Center and an alternate pitch at the National Park. The men have been shortlisted for the RAN 7s, while women will be selected for the RAN 10s, which Guyana is set to take part in. And finally, Venus Williams joined her sister Serena in withdrawing from the US Open as the final Grand Slam of the year lost more high-profile players. This is according to BBC Sport. Serena Williams said that she needed time to allow her body to heal completely from a torn hamstring. The 41-year-old Venus then withdrew hours later with a leg injury. It will be the first time since 2003 that neither Williams' sister has appeared at Flushing Meadows. Sophia Keenan, who is the top-ranked American in women's singles, tweeted her withdrawal after testing positive for COVID-19. The tournament, which begins on 30th August, will also be missing defending men's champion Dominic Thiem, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal. Serena, who has won her national title 6 times, suffered the injury to her hamstring during her first-round exit at Wimbledon in June. Venus, a 2-time US Open champion and 7-time Grand Slam winner, said the leg injury had been affecting her throughout the summer. She lost her opening match at the Chicago Women's Open on Monday and has not gone beyond the second round of a slam this year. For MTV Sports Update, Jessica Callender.
That brings us to the end of Sport Update, which is brought to you with the kind compliments of ISG. More after the break.
Welcome to Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., Guyana's sole distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, SKF bearings, seal and belts, international trucks and parts, and Napa batteries. With a bond capacity of 30,000 square foot, we offer superior brands at affordable prices and the best after-sales service. ISG supplies sustainable integrated solutions to make your business a growing success. Visit us at our new main office at Lot 4Q Peters Hall. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.
And that brings down the curtain on tonight's newscast. But before we go, here's a reminder of our top stories. COVID-19 immunization campaign for children begins. Bids open for Eccles Great Diamond 4-lane highway. 52,000 farmers to benefit from government's flood relief program. And in sport, Hetimaya 54 All-Star Bowling Show give Amazon Warriors a winning start. Catch our broadcast tomorrow at 6:30. Don't forget to like our Facebook page where the news can be viewed live at 19:30. On behalf of our news and technical teams, Sandy Ramutar saying, stay safe and goodbye for now.